Welcome back to Morning Detention. We are still talking about friends. We're on tip number 2. Tip number 1, I told you if your child come home and they say, hey, I want to go to my friend's house and hang out, most of the time we don't know who they friend are because we haven't saw them. They in school with them, right? So tip number 1 was to make sure that you go and meet the parents of your child friend before you let them go over there. This is a healthy way for you to for them to get a feel of you and you get a feel of them. And so that was tip number 1. Tip number 2 is that just to piggyback off tip number 1, you want to make sure that you exchange phone numbers and email with the other parents. This is a great segue for you guys to communicate, so you can kind of tell them like what you expect, what your child, what you expect for your child, and for you to check on your child while they're at your house. Just open up all forms of communication. However, I would say this: what I run into a lot is that a lot of my kids' friends are single moms, right? And so I have to let my wife handle a lot of that situation because I don't want to have the phone number of a single mom, calling or texting. However, sometimes it is the case, but what I do is I will text or I'll make sure I call in front of my wife. But like say if I'm mentoring a couple of youth at my school, they are actually boy student, I'm mentoring them, and they single parent. So I text the parents all the time, but I make sure my wife is on the text. But for the most part is that they single parent, my wife will talk to them a lot, get the information, they swap, they talk, they do everything, and she just inform me. But if it's a single dad, then I would kind of do it myself. But again, make sure you exchange phone numbers and email to keep that communication open, because again, it's your job to protect your child. All right, that is tip number 2. We'll see you at the next one.